Okay, one of them is side, side, side. What's another one? Side, angle, side. What else? What else is there? Not AAA.
Is it ASS?
It's not ASS. Bad words.
Wait, ASA.
Angle, side, angle. What else is there? I probably should have did it before I started. I know there's a hypotenuse leg. Okay, what do we use for if it's none? NA is another one. And there's one more. Oh, I remember it now. It starts with an A. Perfect. Angle, angle, side. Okay, so those are our options. This goes all the way from 1 through something. 1 through 12. Okay, so 1 through 12 is one of these options. Okay, side, side, side. We're looking for all three sides that are marked. Okay, side, angle, side. Where does this angle have to be? For side, angle, side.
Middle.
In the middle, right? So it's got to go side, then the angle, then the side. Okay, so side, side, side is going to look like this. Side, side, side. Side, angle, side is going to be a side, an angle, and another side. Angle, side, angle. What is angle, side, angle? Okay, it's going to look like angle, a side, and then the other angle. Okay, the angle has to, or the side has to be in between the two angles. Okay, angle, angle, side. Angle, angle, side goes angle, then the angle, and then the other side. Hypotenuse leg. What do we need for the hypotenuse leg?
90 degree.
Okay, we need a 90 degrees. The hypotenuse marked. Okay, so the hypotenuse, this is the hypotenuse, the H that goes across from, and then one of the legs marked. So it can either be like this, or it can be, same thing. Okay, or it can be like this, okay, with those two. Okay, and then NA is definitely just NA. Okay, so, and some of this stuff may seem like, oh my gosh, I don't remember. Okay, that's why we're doing it now, so then by the time you take your final in another week and a half, you'll be ready to rock and roll. Okay, look at number 1. Are the two triangles touching?
Yes.
Yeah, so then that means something we have to mark. What do we have to mark?
Side.
The side here in the middle. Okay, they're touching. Okay, so how many things do we have? How many sides do we have?
It's SAS.
Okay, so there are two sides marked, 1, 2, 1, 2, and there's one angle. Okay, so it has to be something with either an S, and an A, or an NA. Okay, so it goes from side, angle, side, side, angle, side. Okay, so this is gonna be side, angle, side. Okay, look at number 3. Are the two triangles touching? No, they're not. So we don't have to mark anything. Okay, and then look at them. What is this one?
Side.
It is not. Read, look at it.
Actually NA.
It's why was it NA?
It's NA because the other one doesn't match up that one.
Yeah, so look at this one. This one is, you were right. This one is side, angle, side. Okay, well here I started on side 1, right? See how it has one line? So that means I would have to go side, and then it goes to angle and nothing. Or side, no angle, side. Okay, so this is going to be NA. Okay, what about 5? Are the angles touching?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have to mark something. What do we have to mark?
Angle.
The angle in the middle. Okay, see how there's a square there? Then that means that there's a square here. Okay. Now look at it. Okay. Huh?
HL.
Okay. So the square tells me that maybe it's HL. Is that a guarantee? No. Okay, but that tells me I should probably look and see if it's HL. As well as there's two side marks in an angle. So it's either going to be NA, side angle side, or HL. Okay? And so this one, the hypotenuse is marked. So the thing across from the square. and one leg is marked. Okay, so this is going to be HL.
I'm confused by number 2 and 8 because 8 would be an 8, right? And then number 2. I don't even know that one.
7. Are the two angles touching?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do we get to mark?
1.
The one in the middle. Okay, and it should be marked what number?
1.
A 1, because there's already a 2 marked and a 3 marked. Okay, so what is that one?
That's.
Side, side, side. Okay, side, side, side. Okay, number 9. Number 9. Are the two angles touching?
Yes.
Yes, so what do we have to mark? The angle in the middle, okay? So when they're touching you, that means you absolutely have to mark one thing, okay? Whether that be a side or an angle, okay? And you only get to mark one thing. You can't mark 2 or 3 things. You can only mark one thing, okay? And so now look at it. Okay, look at it. What is this one? Okay, we'll go with what you see. How many angles do you see? How many sides do you see?
2.
I see 2 angles.
2 sides.
And well, so one side. Okay, so we know that we see 2 angles and 1 side. Okay, so if we're looking at our like formulas, it could be either this one, or this one. Okay, that's it, because those ones have 2 A's and 1 S, or maybe it's nothing. So what is it? Angle, side. Okay, 11. Are they touching?
Yes.
Yes, so that means we have to mark something. What do we have to mark? The side in the middle. Okay, how many angles are there? 2. How many sides are there? 1. Okay, so again, it could be 3 options. All right, which one is this? Which one is it?
Side angle.
Angle, side, angle. Okay, angle, side, angle. Okay, 13 starts on the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so again, you can use this on your sheet. Make sure that you write down any formulas that you need. Okay, so these are, in order for this, you got to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Which one is the c? The c is the most important one. How do you know which one's the c? How do we know which one's the c? Remember? Okay, the C is going to be always, so the C, okay, is always going to be, first of all, the longest, or it's across from the hypotenuse, so this one, okay? This is your C. It's across from the square, okay? So if we're looking at number 13, which one is my C? The X. Look at 14. Which one is my C? Look at 14. Which one's my C?
13.
The 13. Okay? Because they get solved a little bit differently, but the setup is the most important part. Okay? As far as the A and B goes, it doesn't matter. You pick one. Okay? So we can say this is A, this is B, this is C. So we're going to say 12 squared plus 9 squared equals X squared, because my C is my X. Okay, well, what is 12 squared? Type it on your calculator. 12 squared. Let's go. Get the type in.
144.
144. 9 squared.
81.
81 equals X squared. Okay, what is 144 plus 81? 144 plus 81.
225.
225 equals X squared. Okay, and then from that, you have to square root both sides. So square root and square root. So you're going to pick your square root button on your calculator and say 225, and that's going to give you your X. You just say equals. Okay, and so what does it give you for X?
15.
15. All right, so we get X equals 15. Okay, I can tell you because this one is a little bit different. So you really just have to do the math, and I will gladly help you or Hanson or whatever when the time comes for you to work. Okay, because it's not necessarily set up the same. Okay. Okay, 15 is the same. 15 is the same type of problem. Can I scroll? Are you guys good? Okay, it gives you your A, B. It wants you to find the C. Okay, so we're going to say A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay, I'm actually going to do 16 instead. So that way when you guys do your 14, you kind of have a better idea how to do it. Because 16 is more like 14. Does that make sense? Okay, so again, we're going to do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Make sure you're on 16, not 15. Okay, what is my A? A is my X. We don't know what it is. What's my B?
12.
12 squared. My C is going to be 15 squared. Okay, and then we're going to start doing piece by piece. 12 squared. What's 12 squared? 144. So we're going to get plus 144. 15 squared. What is 15 squared? 225. Okay, and then what are we going to do? Subtract 144 from both sides. So we get x squared equals, what is 225 minus 144? 81. Okay, and then you're going to square root both sides. So you should get x equals 9. Okay, 17, it says state if it's a right triangle. Okay, so again, you're going to use that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Which one did I say c was?
13.
Okay, c is always, but which one? If there's not a square, how do you know which one it is? The longest one. So if we look at this one, which one is the biggest number out of the three numbers there? 13. Okay, so it's really going to be, and this is either going to be yes or no for our answer. Okay, it's either yes or no. Okay. C is the longest. Okay, C is the longest. So it's going to look like 12 squared plus 5 squared equals 13 squared. Okay, today I'm doing things a really, really slow way, but you can just do it on the calculator all at once. Okay, as far as the left side goes. Okay, what is 12 squared? 144, 5 squared is 25, 13 squared is 169. Alright, and so then you can take the 144 plus 25, 144 plus 25, and I don't know what that is, 169?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, does 169 equal 169? Is this a true statement or not?
Yes.
Yes, it is, okay? If it said 0 equals 169, is that a true statement? No. Okay, so if they're both the same, my answer is yes. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you how to do it on this short way on the calculator, right? But that way you have the steps just in case you're doing your test and things. Okay, number 19, which one's going to be my C?
5.
The 5. So this is going to look like 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. Okay, so on your calculator, you can type in 3 squared and then hit your over button and say 4 squared and hit your equals. Okay, and what do you get for that part? 3 squared plus 4 squared? 25. Okay, so this part we're going to get 25, and then you have to do the other side. So 5 squared is going to be 25. Is this a true statement?
Yes.
Yes. So my answer is yes. Okay, order the triangle from shortest to longest. Shortest to longest. Okay, who remembers, how do you do this?
I think it was WD. I mean, we start from the shortest, so we'll do 40.
Yep, so you're going to use your finger to cover up the 40, and who's left? What two letters are left?
WV.
WV, okay? And you can either say WV or VW, okay? So WV is going to be the first one. And then what comes the next biggest number after 40?
48.
48. So you're going to cover that one up, and what two letters are left?
WU.
WU or UW. Okay, and then our biggest one is what? The 92. So you're going to cover that up, and we've got UV or VU. Okay, 23 says state if the three numbers can measure the sides of a triangle. Okay, so you're going to take the 3 and you're going to say greater than 10, greater than 20, greater than 7. Okay, so leave yourself some space in between each one. Okay, leave yourself some space in between each one. Okay, so for the first one, I used the 10, so what two numbers are left? 20 and 7. It's going to go over here. 20 plus 7. Okay, for the 20, it's going to be 10 plus 7. And then for the 7, 20 plus 10. Okay, 23 or 20 plus 7, is that bigger than 10? Yes, that's going to be 27, which is bigger than 10. We're going to get yes. Okay, so I'm going to use a little check mark. Do you remember how many check marks do you have to need? 3. Okay, what about if we get an X for the next one? Do we need to keep going? No. What's our answer going to be? No. Okay, so this is a yes or a no. Okay, so for here, it's yes for check, 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 or no for 1X. Okay, and so write notes that make sense to you. But if you even have 1X, you're done. Okay, 7 plus 10 is 17. Is 17 bigger than 20? No. Okay, so do we need to check the last one? No. What's my answer? No. Okay. I didn't know the second one was no, actually. But. Okay, 25 is about the same way, except for there's only 2 there. Okay, and so what do you do for the third one?
X.
You put an X. Good job. Okay, so we're gonna say comma X. Okay, so this is gonna be greater than 11, greater than 6, greater than X. Okay, leave yourself some space in between them. This one you gotta solve equations, okay? So for the 11, what 2 letters are gonna go on the left side, or 2 things? For the 11.
6 plus X.
6 plus X. Okay, what about for the next one? 11 plus X. And the last one? 11 plus 6. Okay, again, I'm doing this one the long way. Okay, and we'll talk about the shortcut way here in just a second. Okay, so we're on this first one. I'm going to say minus 6, minus 6. So I get X equals, and this is going to give me 5. Not equals, greater than. Okay, then this one I'm going to say minus 11, minus 11. So we're going to get negative 5. And then this one I'm going to get 17. Okay, so first of all, you should have 2 answers, correct? Okay, we should have 2 answers. Okay, which answer do we know is not allowed? The negative one. Okay, so then the second one. Okay, that negative 5 is not going to work. Okay. Okay, so these 2 are going to be your answers. Okay, now the shortcut way. Okay, so my answer is going to be 5 through 17. Okay, So make sure that you circle those two so that way I know that that's the two that you've chosen, okay? The shortcut way is, which one has the smaller number on the left side? Okay, the top one, so 6 on the left and then 11 on the right, or 11 on the left and 6 on the right. You want the one that has the smaller number on the left side. It's always going to be the one that you need to do, okay? And you can also, on the flip side of that, 6 plus what would give me 11? Well, 6 plus 5, okay? So if you don't really like doing the equation way, that's okay. We're almost done. We got maybe 10 left. Okay, 27. It wants you to find one that's parallel to MP. So take a second, find MP. Find MP. Okay, and so we can mark it. I want something that is double or half of the length. It cannot be the same length as MP. But remember, it's got to be going like in the same direction. Okay? ED or DE, okay, is the only option. That's the only one, okay? So it's going to be this one. See how they're both going in this direction? If I would continue them both, okay, we're going to get this. That's how we know it's parallel, okay? It has to be half of the length or double the length. Okay, so it's going to be ED or you could say DE. Okay, 29, I want you to find the missing length. If the top one is 22, what is the middle? If the top is 22, what is the middle? 11, half of it, okay? So you're either gonna multiply times by 2 or divide by 2, okay? Depending on if we're finding the bigger or smaller one. So this one is gonna be 11. Okay, 31. So we know that you take the half, okay? So the formula goes like so, okay? 2 times the small equals what? Who remembers? 2 times the small equals
The big.
the big. Good. 2 times the small equals the big. Okay, or 2 times the inside one is going to equal the outside one. Okay, so it's going to look like 2 times, what's my small one? Bless you. What's my small one?
Your small one is x plus 17.
X plus 17, good. What's my big one?
20,
X plus 23. Okay, what do we do next? Ryan, get off that, come on. It's your finals review. Doesn't seem like a very good idea. I love you.
Alright.
What do we do next?
Do 17 minus 23.
Not yeah, there's one step before that, but I like it.
But it,
Speaking of
times.
students, pardon the interruption, the senior meeting is now concluded and.
Okay, so we're gonna
seniors will be
say
back
2
in
times
class in
X,
the next 5 minutes.
and then
Thank you.
2 times 17, is that gonna be 34?
2 times 17 equals 34.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move our letters to the left and the numbers to the right. So Dre, you were right, but who's getting moved?
X.
The 34 and then the X. Good, I like it. Okay, so 2x minus x is 1x. 23 minus 34, negative 11. And then what? Divide both sides by 1. So we get x equals negative 11. Okay, for this one, what did the instructions tell you to do? Solve for x, right? So we can stop on that one. We got 4 left. Only one of them is long. Okay, 33. Looks the same. What's the only difference? Looks the same. What's the difference? Find SU. So what is the extra step we have on this one? Well, we just solved for x, so we're going to plug this one in, Okay, so that's essentially what you either, and I always do them, right? So I always do like the super easy one, let's solve for x, and then the plug in, okay? So it's still gonna be the same. I would say put a 1 in front of this x right here, okay? Because some of you guys are gonna not divide by a 1 there, okay? So I would put the 1, because there's a negative, you do have to divide eventually, depending on how it works out. Okay, so we're gonna say 2 times the small, so 2x minus 13, equals my big one, so 1 minus 1x. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and distribute. So 2 times 2x is gonna be 4x. 2 times negative 13 is gonna be negative 26. Leave that cracked, please, because there's gonna be a couple more coming. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move our letters to the left and the numbers to the right. Who's getting moved? Who's gonna get moved?
X and negative 26.
Good, so this 1x and a plus 26. Okay, so we're gonna get 5x equals 27.
Oh, is that a plus 1x before? I'm like a step behind.
I don't know, but something's not right.
You put minus 1x.
Where?
What is this? The
You said 1 minus 1x is supposed to be 1 plus x. It's not a negative.
Yeah, that first part of the problem.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supposed to be plus.
Oh, shoot, okay. So plus, so minus, so
Yeah.
minus, so 3. Okay. How did I know something was wrong? How did we know something was wrong? Okay, I was gonna get a fraction. I automatically knew that 5 doesn't go into 27, okay? So if I get a fraction, something's wrong. Okay, so we get x equals 9. Okay, and we already figured out this one we gotta plug back in, okay? So, which one does it ask us to plug back in? SU. So SU is 1 plus x. So it's really 1 plus 9, which is 10. I'll get your guys' in just a minute. We only have 3 left, so I'm not gonna stop the video to do that. Okay, 35. It says determine whether each is a median, altitude, or neither. Median, altitude, or neither. Okay, so first of all, who remembers what is a median?
Is it a median where the line goes through the middle?
The line is gonna go through the middle. Okay, so the median is gonna be, okay, it has to come from a vertex, remember? And it's gonna go down, and you should have 2 lines, okay? What about an altitude?
It all has a 90 degree.
Yep, so it's gonna come down, okay, and an altitude can be on the inside, outside, or neither. So it can be kind of kicked off to the side. Okay, so if we look at 35, is that a median, an altitude, or neither?
Median.
It is a median, okay? We can see it comes down from the vertex, and it has the 2 lines, okay? So this is a median. Okay, what about 37? Is that a median, an altitude, or neither? Median, altitude, or neither?
Neither.
Why is it a neither?
With the lines in.
Yeah, so remember, it's got to come from a corner, and it's coming from here, okay? So this is going to be a neither. Okay, and then last one for today, 39. We're going to use, what's the formula? We just did this not too long ago, so
Parentheses.
parentheses. Oops, see.
Number minus 2.
Times 180, okay? What does the n stand for?
Number of sides.
The number of sides, okay? So this is the number of sides. Okay, so on this one, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's really going to be 5 minus 2 times 180. Okay, 5 minus 2 times 180. And what is that? People?
540.
540.
540?